I finally got my permanent residency card for Spain. Firstly, what does this mean and why do you want it? Well, when you first arrive in Spain, you get a temporary card called the NIE, or NIE. After 5 years as a Brit, you are allowed to apply for the permanent residency. This is also true for many other countries. The main difference between the permanent and temporary residency is the duration and rights associated. Temporary residency allows non-EU citizens, such as myself, to stay in Spain for more than 90 days, but less than 5 years, often tied to specific conditions like work, study, or family reunification. In my specific case, I arrived in Spain before Brexit, meaning I was able to get the temporary residency with ease. Now, let's say you arrive here post-Brexit, so literally every Brit from here onwards. Brits wishing to live full-time in Spain must apply for a visa. For example, a non-lucrative or work visa at a Spanish consulate in the UK. Upon arrival in Spain, you must register for residency within 30 days, providing proof of financial means, health insurance, and your visa. Once this has been approved, you will then obtain a tarjeta de identidad de extranjero, or TIE for short, which is simply a card. A couple of important definitions you should know about though. Your TIE should not be confused with your NIE, which is the Número de Identidad de Extranjero, which is a unique identification number issued for foreigners in Spain for legal, financial, and administrative purposes, such as opening a bank account, paying taxes, or buying property. The NIE, however, does not grant residency. The TIE is the physical card issued to non-EU citizens legally residing in Spain, serving as proof of their legal status. It includes personal details, the NIE number, and the type of residency permit. So, we went slightly off track there, but back to the reasoning for wanting permanent residency here in Spain. It is granted after legally residing in Spain for 5 consecutive years and provides indefinite stay and greater rights, such as working without restrictions and access to public benefits similar to Spanish citizens. The only thing it doesn't come with that a full citizen can is the right to vote in national elections. So, what does this permanent residency mean to me? It's a step closer to the passport, which you have to wait 10 years to get for British citizens. So effectively, I'm halfway to that. If you're from Latin America, provided you can get a working visa here in Spain, you will be able to get citizenship in as little as 2 years as a result of the historical link between Latin America and Spain. During this time of receiving my documentation, I started reflecting on national identity, what it means to be British, what it means to be Spanish, and where I stand in all this. And I can already imagine the comments, so before I have the mob chasing me down, I realized that I can never fully say that I'm Spanish. But I'm not claiming to be, by the way. Like, I'm incredibly proud to be British, but I'm also proud to live here in Spain, and that's an important distinction. Proud to call Spain my home, and with that comes a certain level of pride for this wonderful country. So for example, last year in 2024, in the final with England versus Spain in the Euros, Spain went on to comfortably win against England, who, let's face it, were just happy to make it to the final. I was already celebrating the moment I heard the final was England versus Spain, because as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. I had won either way. Now let's dive deeper into this whole idea of national identity. The big question here is, at what point do you officially stop feeling like a tourist and start feeling like a part of the country? Is it when you navigate the bureaucracy without needing 17 trips to Google Translate? By the way, that never happens. I always have a translator app to hand for anything related to that. Or is it when you can rattle off the names of Spanish regional dishes without butchering the pronunciation? I still butcher the pronunciation, so. For me, it's been a gradual shift. At first, living in Spain felt like a long holiday. You know, sipping manzanilla with a pan con tomate on a sunny plaza and thinking, wow, this is life. But over time, it builds routines, friendships, an actual sense of belonging here. Suddenly, the long holiday becomes life. And now when I think of home, my mind doesn't jump to grey skies and Sunday roasts. It jumps to outdoor activities and paella, which isn't actually strictly true, because something that's been going on in the background with me is I have recently found out that I am allergic to prawns. So there you go. Can we just point this out for a minute, right? I have moved to Valencia. I love it here. It's beautiful. It's an amazing place. But it turns out that the moment I moved to the place that's famous for paella, I somehow managed to get myself an allergy to their main dish. Anyway, slightly off topic, but as I was saying, whenever I visit the UK, I have about 1 week before I start to feel homesick for Spain. I'm not even joking, that genuinely is true. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing friends and family, but seeing as they haven't invented the sun yet in the UK, I feel exhausted after some time. And yes, I'm taking vitamin C tablets, even when I'm here in Spain. So, what does it mean to be British? So if we look at the stereotype, a British person is someone who apologizes too much, is secretly judging people who put milk in before the tea when they make a tea. By the way, that one really irritates me. And having a deep, inexplicable affection for a good cue. Not being in it per se, it's just when everyone is paying attention to the rules. It's also about shared history, pop culture, and a certain dry humor that seems to confuse half the planet. People have said to me, Dave, you mustn't be very patriotic because you left the country and complain about the weather when you return. That's not true at all. I still hate the weather and don't understand how anyone can live there. But having time away from the UK has given me a deep fondness for the place. It's always a pleasure to reunite with old friends and family. But here's the thing. While I carry my British identity with pride, yes, even post-Brexit, living in Spain has made me reflect on how much of our identity is tied to where we choose to live. I didn't choose to be British. It was the luck of the draw. And how lucky I am to have been born in such a great country. But choosing to stay in Spain year after year has been intentional. It's a love story, really. Albeit one involving a lot of paperwork and visits to the immigration office. What does it mean to be Spanish? That's a whole other vibe. It's warmth, it's passion, it's clapping when the plane lands. By the way, this still makes me die inside when I hear it. It's eating dinner at 9 p.m. and wondering why anyone would want to eat earlier. And let's not even talk about regional pride. So for example, here in Valencia, I will often tell people soy madrileño. Of course, I'm joking around a little bit. Obviously, I'm not from Madrid, but I like to put it in there because it's funny, right? But it's interesting because the Spanish people would never call someone from a place unless they were born there. This is a whole topic to itself, but in London, if someone stays in London for, let's say, 5 years, they would automatically be upgraded to a Londoner. They are a Londoner in my book, but if I spend 5 years in Madrid, I still can't call myself madrileño. Anyway, I got distracted. Back to Spanish and its love of traditions. And of course, football. So much football. And okay, I do miss the Premiership, but I prefer the Spanish culture around football. I don't feel like I'm going to get my head kicked in when I utter the words Millwall. And yes, that is my team in the UK. I know I'll never truly be Spanish. There's a cultural richness and a history that's impossible to absorb in just 1 decade or 2. But what I can do is embrace it as much as possible. The language, the customs, the rhythms of daily life. And maybe, just maybe, I'll start to blur the lines between foreigner and local a little more each day. And the best thing about the Spanish, they will welcome you with open arms. They are some of the most amazing people I have ever met, hence why I'm still here. So here I am, straddling 2 identities, British by birth, Spanish by choice. And honestly, I think the world would be a better place if we all leaned into the idea that identity doesn't have to be rigid. It's like a recipe. A bit of this, a pinch of that, and suddenly you've got something completely unique. I might not be fully Spanish or just British. I'm something in between. And I think that is pretty cool. And what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments. Are you navigating dual identities or thinking about moving to a new country? Let's keep this civil. I've had some nasty comments before related to these topics. And while I'm on here, I normally keep this incredibly polite, but if you've got a nasty comment, keep it to yourself. I don't care, and the rest of the people in the comments don't care, so putting that out there now. Oh, and the comments will be removed. You have been warned. And on that note, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.